Alex of Knicks Fan TV. Welcome back to the show. Man, I was at the Knicks Fan TV party last night.
Oh, yeah? Let's go.
Yeah, man. LeBron had a triple-double. Bronny checks in for him. And that's by far not the biggest news of the night. Not the biggest news of the night. I wake up to an AD Luka Doncic trade.
Oh, you woke up to it while I was, watching this whole thing live unfold.
I saw it, man. I saw it. I saw the live reaction on Knicks Fan TV. You could go check it out right now. Man, my question to you is, and we actually got some breaking news from Shams too, but we can get to that in a little bit. What are the Mavericks doing, bro?
That's a good question, my guy. I have no idea what they are doing at all. And let's just, first of all, if you my reaction and Sean's reaction like that is just like, I had truly, it just didn't make any sense. Like, I'm reading this, I'm like, why are you trading Anthony Davis for, I know there's much more pieces to that, but why even the thought of like Anthony Davis for Luka Doncic? It's just that, to me, like, one is a generational talent, that being Luka, who's constantly in top 5, top 3 MVP consideration. AD, very talented guy. We know that. We know everything that AD brings to the table, but he's not Luka, man. He's not a guy that you're like, they tried to build around him in New Orleans. It didn't work. He needed to be a second, he needed to be that second guy with LeBron in order to win a chip. Luka, that's the guy. Like, I'm just like, why are you trading the guy from Dallas? And then you have Nico out here just talking craziness, saying like, I didn't tell J Kidd, I didn't do all this. And I'm like, bro, like, you are shooting yourself in the foot of saying you didn't work with your coach. You had these talks like with Pelinka in secret for like a couple of weeks, and now you're like, you all want to execute this, and it's just like the Lakers just continue to just get generational talent after generational talent. But I have no idea why, if you're the Dallas Mavericks, you're trading Luka, who just took you to an NBA Finals last year. Like, it's not
crazy.
We're not even talking about Cabo. We're not even talking like 8-10 months ago. We're literally talking about last June. You know what I mean, bro? Like, why are you trading like the team? Why are you breaking that whole thing up where it got you to where you wanted to go? You just need to tweak it a little bit more. It just doesn't make sense at all. But I want to know your reaction, man. What did you think when you woke up to the news the next day? You're probably peacefully sleeping like, man, I'm going to wake up, get this workout in, get some lifting in, go hoop a little bit.
I did hoop today.
Nice.
Oh, man. Nico, man. You're telling us defense. He hits us with the cliche. Defense wins championships. That's why he did the trade. It's crazy, man. It's crazy because Luka Doncic is 25 years old. He's the better player. He's the younger player. He's a 5-time All-NBA first-team player.
Mm-hmm.
And you trade him because of conditioning? It seems like there's something we don't know. I don't know why they would make this trade at all, to be honest. Like, it doesn't make any sense just to say that. I feel like it might have been personal. I think like something personal happened because, Luka's going to lose a lot of money, but this definitely isn't to the benefit of your franchise. No way. No way.
It's not. It's very short-sighted.
Yes, exactly.
Don't get me wrong.
Like you're right. Short-sighted is the perfect word. I was thinking about that today. It's like I'm having these beefs with Luka. Luka has too much power probably because he could do whatever he wants.
Right.
He could probably come in whenever he wants. He's not going to come in shape. It's bothering me, so I'm going to trade that guy. That's what it feels like to me. I don't know. I don't have inside information on it. I did talk to a few people around Dallas saying basically the same things that Tim was saying, like he's coming in out of shape, right? The team has been playing well lately, stuff like that. But, bro, in the playoffs, you are not better without Luka Doncic. And they had a better chance to win this year, in my opinion, with Luka than AD. And then for the long term, it's not even close. It's not even close.
It's not even close. And that's the thing, right? And, you talk about Tim McMahon. I still have the tweet up from last night, so I'll just read it for the people who don't know. It's Tim McMahon said, and I quote, "I believe that defense wins championships." Mavs GM Nico Harrison told ESPN regarding his motivation to trade Luka Doncic for Anthony Davis, "I believe that getting an all-defensive center and an all NBA player with a defensive mindset gives us a better chance. We're built to win now and in the future." So I can understand, like, if your future's like 2-3 years, maybe that works out for you. But honestly, I don't even see how like for the betterment of the franchise that you trade Luka. I just don't get it. And maybe it is to the sense that you said, Andrew, like, hey, you know, he could do whatever he wants in Dallas, and Nico needs to, you know, wants to have that power back, saying, you know, I can't have somebody just come in and do whatever they want to do, and then just, you know, treat it like there's no problem. And you know, he's probably will get that NBA Finals, be like, yo, man, I need you to play defense. You know, we're losing out here to guys who are, you know, two-way players, Jaylen Brown, Jason Tatum, and you're not doing that. I need more from you. But even still, like, I feel like there's a better way to go about it to get even more out of your player than trading the player. Like, I don't feel like he even gave him, like, enough of a chance. I'm like, look, he hasn't even truly hit his prime yet. Like, look, guys like Jordan, LeBron, Steph, guys got to be like 27, 28 to start winning. You can even look at, like, Tatum, man. Like, he's closer to that. And Luka, he's not even there yet, man. And it's just frustrating, bro.
What's really interesting is they didn't even check the market. Yes. Why don't you check the market? With all due respect to Anthony Davis, who's a great player, Max Christie played really good last night against your Knicks. 1 first-round pick.
I'll say this.
What? 1 first-round pick. Do you realize PG-13, it was like 4 or 5 first-round picks at SGA.
Before SGA became SGA.
I don't care. I don't care, though. 4 or 5 first-round picks at SGA. I'm gonna make it sound better. I'm gonna make it sound at SGA.
Here's the thing. What I thought they should have gotten out of in that deal. You want to take 1 first-rounder? That's cool. But you should have gotten Austin Reeves or Dalton Connect in that deal. You should have gotten one of those guys, if not both, to go with Anthony Davis. The fact that you gave up, once again, as you mentioned, an all-NBA player, like consistent all-NBA player, a guy who's constantly in MVP consideration, and all you got back in return is Anthony Davis is just...
You know what you know those two are friends, right?
Nah, I didn't know that they're friends like that.
Yeah, they are. They are. It feels like, you know, when you're younger, like you're kind of, I'm talking about like really young, you're like conjuring up these conversations about what could be a good idea, but it's really like a bad idea. It's like you're about to get into some trouble or something. Like yeah, that's good. Yeah. Like just hyping each other up and like, because I think, you know, for these deals or in any business deal, it's good for it to be mutually beneficial, right? For the future of both sides. Like, you don't want to one-side somebody, you know, when you have a business relationship. I mean, like,
the thing, Andrew, is like sometimes, like, that's the issue with doing business at times, man, is that what you believe is equitable value is not what you see as equitable value, right? And so for Nico, like, the rest of the NBA world is like, yo, this is not equitable value for what you're just trading right now. It's not. And like everybody's saying that. And I'll say this. I do like the Mavs' chances and I'm putting the caveat fully healthy because we know Kyrie and AD can miss time, but fully healthy, I do like the immediate outlook of the Dallas Mavericks than I do the Los Angeles Lakers. I think for the long haul, the Lakers will have the better turnaround because you got Luka and you can just continue to build around that for many years to come. And his game is much more long lasting than, you know, somebody like Kyrie's or like you just think of any guy who has to play with a lot of speed, a lot of like breaking down of a guy, right?
Yeah.
Like Luka's he goes at a very slow pace. It's not necessarily anything too crazy, too fancy, but he gets the job done. And that's what's so amazing about him, is that type of game can translate for such a long haul. And that's my biggest thing about it, is that, you know, I can understand wanting Anthony Davis to build something like right now to look something a little bit more traditional from a defensive mindset. I just don't agree with still trading Luka at all. I just don't. Like, I get that outlook, but like, if you're going to do that, you got to get something in return, because it's so short-sighted. Like, you're going to rely on Kyrie and AD for the next, 2-3 years?
Yeah, I see what you're saying for the short-term thing, but if they can make a deal and get like a solid center somehow, I mean, who knows what they could do in the playoffs? Lakers? I think. Yeah, if the Lakers get a solid center somehow. That's what they're missing right now. They don't have a good enough big, you know? That's what but they're going to have 2 of the highest IQ guys in the history of the game. Yes. One of them will be in his prime. He's coming off an injury, but he will be in his prime. And look at how LeBron was looking last night, bro. It's like, I mean, this team won't be an easy out if they could get a good big man.
They're not going to be an easy out. They won't be an easy out as they're currently constructed.
Right.
But I think that's the difficulty right now for any team. It's finding where do you find that
Yeah.
big man, right?
Yeah.
Like if you told me that, hey, you got a Nick Richards in there as well, hell yeah, that team's going to go places. And not saying that Nick Richards is like prime Dwight Howard in Orlando, but you just need a stable rim protector to just bolster up that defense, as you already pointed out. I just don't see it. I don't see it happening this season for them. That's why I think it's just a longer period of time. And by that point, for me, like LeBron's going to be retiring at some point, man. There's no way this man can keep doing it until he's 45. If he does it until 45,
I think he does, though, bro. It's crazy. I think he does.
You really you think LeBron can keep playing until he's 45?
I think he won't, but I think he can.
That's crazy.
I think he can.
I mean, he keeps himself in great shape, but like that has got to be some serious like management to like get him to continue to play to 45. Look. I think the Lakers did a great job setting themselves up for the future. They got 10 years with Luka, man. They don't.
Yeah, I mean, look, they totally changed the outlook of their franchise for the long term. Like when it just comes to ticket sales and everything around that and marketability and just everything, man. Like they changed the whole future of the Lakers organization with this deal. But I did predict Luka was going to the Lakers. I didn't know it was going to be.
You did.
Yeah.
You did.
Yeah,
So
I didn't know it'd be I didn't know it'd be like this. I thought it'd be like in free agency or something, Like, come on, man. This is crazy.
Yeah, so Combo, I'm going to need those winning lotto numbers from you. I'm going to need you also to tell me when the Knicks win the championship. I just want to be prepared, man. I got a busy schedule, so I need to know when that's going to happen too.
Well, yeah, I think I talked about this with Dexter Henry. I think they win it next year.
Knicks win it next year.
Yeah.
Let's go. I like that.
Breaking news, by the way, Sacramento is finalizing a trade to send De'Aaron Fox to the San Antonio Spurs in a multi-team trade that moves the Chicago Bulls and Zach LaVine to the Kings.
Wow.
That moves Chicago Bulls, Zach LaVine to the Kings, sources tell ESPN. I don't want to stay on this too long, but, man, this is good for the Kings, but it's great for the Spurs.
Oh, 100%. Shout out to my guy, James Ham, who I had on KFTV for Game of the Week preview. He's been covering the Kings for such a long time. He's actually, good friends with Doug Christie, too. Like, used to work together for a long time. Now he gets to cover one of his close friends who coaches the team. And, he tweeted out that, De'Aaron Fox to the Spurs is probably going to be the thing that's going to happen. And here, sure enough, it is. And so I love this move. I know you love this move too. I mean, you get like a dynamic downhill guard who's a bowler to pair it with Wemby. They needed somebody outside of Chris Paul who could just break down defenses. And now that you have Fox who's able to shoot threes at such a high rate, like him and Wemby together, that pick and roll, that pick and pop, it's going to be crazy.
Yeah. Yeah, I totally agree. I mean, like he's really of the point guard mold. Like he could really game manage. He's a good to very good passer. So, I mean, and he's not a duck defensively. Like, the guy could defend. And him and Wemby on the court, is going to be elite defensively together because no matter who you put with Wemby, it's basically elite defensively. But, yeah, I mean, this is perfect. Obviously, they brought in CP3 for the game managing, but he's a lot older, and that's not going to, be for that much longer. So, this is the perfect fit. And, man, they're going to be dangerous this year, too, because they're good already.
Question is, do they go like, the Kings got Malik Monk to pair with De'Aaron Fox. Do the Spurs go back and say, oh, yeah, we're going to bring your friend too? Don't worry, we got Malik Monk on the way at some point.
I mean, Malik Monk might get some more reps, right? Like with him and Zach could play together, I think is a better fit than him and DeAndre. So like that could, you know what I mean? In terms of size. And so maybe he'll get even more reps because he's a bug. You saw, I think he was going crazy against your Knicks recently.
He was going
right?
crazy against the Knicks. I mean, he does this all the time, man.
Yeah, it's a good transition because they were leaving him open for wide open threes. Against the Lakers last night, that was the issue, and the Lakers were knocking them down. What does this team have to do to win it all this year? I know I predicted they'll win it next year, but what does this Knicks team have to do to win it all this year?
Well, first, it's going to be based on OG Anunoby's health. And, I mean, shout out to Ian Begley, who reported earlier today that OG is
that was scary. That was scary when it happened, but it's good news, right? What we're hearing now. But I mean, that's a thought that you had in the back of your head, right? When you saw him.
To be honest, I was like, it really wasn't a thought I had in the back of my head that it was an Achilles. I'm not going to lie to you because I feel like he would have been carrying himself a different way.
You know why I thought? I seen him like I could lip read him like cursing.
Yeah.
So that's why I thought, like, man, he must know something that, like,
Yeah, no, he
we
was
don't know
definitely
right
cursing.
now. And then you kind of go back to Achilles injuries you've seen in the past where there's, like, nobody around the dude. And that's what it was concerning. But, I mean, it's great news coming from Ian and everybody else.
Yeah, they say he's questionable for tomorrow. I would
Yeah.
expect that he misses somewhere between 2 to 6 weeks of time, and that's fine. Keep him. Look, it looked like he was exhausted anyway prior to the 3-game break before they played the Sacramento Kings last Saturday. So I'm like, yo, give this guy some time to rest, recover. You know, it's going to be a little bit more of a stress for the team just to compete. But for the Knicks, one, to get to where they got to go, just to get back to your question, it's going to be dependent on OG's health. So we'll see how that moves, how he recovers and how he performs when he gets back at some point. Second thing is just defense in general, man. Like, we got the weakest point of attack. We got the weakest defenders at the primary positions. Brunson, even though he tries, and I think he's actually done a bit of a better job this year defending, he's still not like a lockdown defender. He does try. He doesn't just let, you know, he's not going to give you the Olay as we used to see James Harden do out in Houston. And then Cat, he's not like, he's an okay rim protector. He's like, if you'll get a graph of like, you know, going above the line or below the line, he's like right at the line. He's like right there being a decent rim protector, depending on who he's going against. But still, you see him in pick and roll defense. You see him in any type of coverage. Like the Lakers demolished him last night. They just took him away, and he was even a factor at all, offensively and defensively. So I think for this Knicks team, defense is going to be a big thing. That's going to help them take it to the next level, because their offense, even when they're disjointed, they're still a good offense, bro. It's not whether or not they can put the ball in the hoop. It's can they get the stops when need be, and we've seen the spurts that they can do that. But then last night, when you got guard the 3, which is the biggest thing for their defense, it's the weakest thing, man. And I think you were there for opening night when we played the Celtics. I said this, and people didn't like that. I said, I was like, here's the recipe to defeat the Knicks. People were like, how many good teams can actually shoot the 3 against the Knicks? I was like, bro, you can't leave anybody open. Like, these are all professional ball players. They can just drill threes. All right.
Yeah.
So if you're going to give them time and leave them wide open, it's just going to be a recipe for disaster. And that's what it's been this season. So OG's health as of right now, and, you know, defense has got to step up.
OG's Achilles is good, but the Achilles heel for the Knicks seems to be 5-out offense. And that's exactly what the Celtics have, even though they're struggling right now.
And they're going to be a tough challenge, man.
Yeah. Can Cat guard in 5-out space, like in high-level playoff situations when you got Porzingis stretching it out like the way he does?
I think he's better at the level than he is in drop, because I don't think he understands where to, like, this is my cutoff and this is where I got to impose pressure. He's also not the most athletic big. Like, he's not like Mitchell Robinson, who can just, you know, grab the sky and then just.
It's like so much of it. It feels like so much of it is also feel, right? It's like guys like Mitch have so much feel on that side of the floor. Cat has great feel on the offensive side, but it doesn't feel like he has that on the defensive side as much.
And that's kind of why we're all waiting for Mitch to get back too. And I know there's discussions like, do you trade Mitch? Do you keep Mitch? I think this season, just explore what you have in-house and then move forward next season. I mean, this team is so pressed up against close to the second apron. Like, they're not there yet, but it's like we're talking about $100,000s of dollars just away. So just keep Mitch, see what happens, and then, you know, evaluate next year. Look, the cap consistently goes up every year. Work that to your benefit. Don't be hard cap right now just to make a move for the sake of making a move. I think they just got to wait for Mitch to get back, let OG get healthy at this point, and then see what you got. And I think they can make some moves, man, in the postseason. So,
don't you think it's interesting that Mitch is all of a sudden getting healthier and going into full contact right before the trade deadline?
No.
I don't know, Alex.
I don't think he's going to get traded. You think he's going to get traded?
I don't know. The timing's a little interesting.
I think, to me, and I've been saying it the entire year, take as long as he needs to get healthy. He's too low at his value, bro. Like, I don't.
Well, I'll tell you, he's exactly what the Knicks need if he's healthy.
100%. But why even trade him? Let me ask you this: why trade him at his lowest value? That's the issue right now with it, right? Like, why even trade him where, like, you could potentially get more if he shows out?
Well, here's a good question: who do the Knicks have in terms of trade value that you wouldn't mind them getting off of, and what are the biggest Knicks needs right now?
Biggest Knicks need right now is probably wing depth, just to give guys like OG, Josh Hart, and Mikal Bridges a break. But Do you really want to trade Precious? No, he's like a good, versatile, big defender. You need more defense because Cat's not there. Do you want to give up Mitch? I still think you need that rim protector because Jericho hasn't showed it. Huckporty has shown flashes of it, but I don't think he's fully ready yet. That's why I think like you got to just play it out one more year. The contract to trade is who you're talking about, Mitchell Robinson, because that's who you can get off and get something of good value in return because he's got a substantial contract. You pair that with like Precious, then you probably talk about a little bit more of a higher end, more versatile player, whatever position. But to me, man, I just don't know why you would want to do that. And I don't think it's going to happen this year. I think it will happen next year, though, or this offseason, I should say.
Yeah. Are there any names that really interest you with the Knicks in terms of trades?
Who is it? Trades? Who is it?
That could move the needle.
Green? Move the needle or just trades in general?
Well, a trade that could move the needle for the Knicks to win a title this year.
This season? I don't think there's a trade.
So you don't think the Knicks will win a title this year?
No.
I said that they killed me on the internet.
I think it's
I also did say that Mikal has to step up and Mitch has to be Mitch, and then they have a good chance. Which Mikal has stepped up.
He has stepped up.
Yeah.
We're still waiting to see if Mitch is Mitch, aren't we?
That's the question. I mean, so is that the defining factor for you as well?
I think that is the big defining factor. Like Mitch has to come, and it's going to be tough, man. I mean, it's close to the end of the season. He needs to gear up. And so I need to see what he looks like before I could be like, yeah, this is a championship caliber team. Let's not mince words over here. But being a championship caliber team doesn't mean you have to win the championship this year.
I mean, there's 29 teams that don't win it every year.
Right? So it's like, can they beat Boston Cavs? Can they beat OKC? Like, I think the Knicks with this team, they've done a good job gelling the starting five. But I think the depth still needs to get better, which is getting Mitch back. I do like how Cam has played this season. At times, he could be too much of a chuck or too erratic for me. But I think if you give Tyler Kolek another offseason, I think that's the guy that really helps take that second unit to another level with Deuce. If you have Mitch, then we're talking about something really good. And then insert whatever wing. Insert some decent wing to give you 15, maybe even 20 minutes, because if you're rotating Josh Hart, Bridges, and OG around, that can give you that time.
Kolek needs more reps, man.
Right now?
Right now.
So you don't like. So are you with the minutes police right now saying that Kolek needs to be playing?
Kolek needs to be playing. He should be playing because in the playoffs, you're going to want to have him ready, And then we look at these injuries that you don't want to blame it on Tibbs, but you got to play guys, man. You got to play guys. Listen, as a player, I want to play 48. I get it. Like, it's cool.
You play professionally, so you should know.
Yeah. No, I loved playing the whole game. It wasn't 48. It was 40 over there. Yeah, and that's a whole other conversation. Yeah. That was another thing I said, and then Adam Silver came out. I don't know if he was listening to my shows and said that.
You want 40 minutes? Okay, this is we don't got enough time for all this. Jeez.
No, we don't. But Tyler Kolek needs to play more.
I don't disagree. I think guys need to get reps, like lifetime reps.
Are you with the minutes police? That's a good question.
I am not with the minutes police.
Okay. So you like these guys playing?
Here's my thing. I understand giving guys breaks so that way they can get the rest and perform at a higher level and to protect their bodies. At the time when we were having these discussions, we didn't have McBride fully healthy. We didn't have Precious fully healthy. We don't have Mitch, and so we're relying on guys who are inconsistent, not great. And so when I'm looking at the bench and you're saying, hey, Pacome Dadier going out there, that's not really the guy that's screaming, hey, let's go give him 20 minutes, and he's going to help this team really go in a productive direction in a game and on a night-to-night basis. Look, you know as best. If you put somebody out there for 10, 15 minutes and they're not holding their weight, you're actually putting more of a detriment on the team to go back out there and work harder. So it's
I think you need some of these guys to be ready and in flow by the time the playoffs get around if you really want to make a deep push.
You with Huck?
Yeah, more than he's getting. Now we're stretching it.
So here we go.
And I think he could be a good player eventually.
Yeah, he's a project.
Yeah. Sims is man. Sometimes Sims minutes are.
And why don't you play Sims a lot? Why?
I just the thing with Sims is he doesn't process the game well or something.
But why don't you play him so many minutes? This is why when people say, "Yo, go give him 10
no,
minutes," I'm like, "Yo, 10 minutes is it's a lot for a guy."
No, but for
giving a lot.
I think Kolek, I would like double down on Kolek even if he didn't play well for like 2-3 games. Right?
I'm more happy with Kolek getting minutes over all those guys because I actually do believe Kolek can give you a lot.
If he gets in a rhythm, I think he could even look better than he does now. You know what he does.
My thing is that I get that Tibbs is a very defensive guy, and so like defensive lapses for Tibbs is like what gets you cut straight to the bench. We saw that with Huckporty.
Yeah.
We even saw that with McBride when McBride was a rookie. I remember that Toronto game like it was yesterday. They had McBride starting at the point, and then next thing you know, he got flambéed by Fred VanVleet, and it was done. He was out of there. We didn't see that man until the rest of the season. There was like essentially they weren't playing for anything. Get all the young guys minutes. So that's how Tibbs rocks, man, and that's why, you know, my analysis, my basis are like based on what Tibbs is going to do. But I do agree that I do like Kolek. I actually said at the beginning of the season, I see Kolek coming in at December, January, taking over for campaign. That hasn't been the case, but I also think he's not getting minutes too because I think when Tibbs looks at him and Payne, they're redundant in the sense of like what they're meant to do. Not saying that Cam does a great job at facilitating. I think Kolek will be the better facilitator in the future, by next year even. But I think when Tibbs looks at it like, those guys played the same thing that I need, and I'm going to trust my vet more just for defensive purposes than I trust these rookies.
So when I was leaving the Knicks Fan TV party, people were not happy with Tibbs when I was walking out. I mean, yo, bro, people were in the streets like talking to themselves about Tibbs, talking to their friends about Tibbs. It was like all Tibbs. Like, I told you about Tibbs, man, you know?
Where's your stance on Tibbs? Let's hear it.
Yeah, the minutes, I think he needs to, basically what I've been saying, I think he needs to give more players more opportunity, not only to alleviate possible injuries and give people rest, but to have players get in a better flow for the playoffs, because I think you need guys in the playoffs. Yes, of course it's about your best six usually more than anything else, but you need a few guys, you know, foul trouble to just be ready. And you're not going to be ready if you didn't play the whole regular season. That's like the biggest thing for me when it comes to the minutes.
And I don't disagree with that. I mean, case in point, go look at Mike Malone with what he did with Christian Braun, right? Like, he got him ready as a rookie. He played some meaningful minutes in that finals game against Miami, even on the run to get there. And so I don't disagree with you. Like I said, I love to see Cole get minutes. That's like, out of all the guys, that's the guy I would love to see get minutes because I feel like he offers a lot that we're not getting right now, especially his court vision. Like, I feel like he could set guys up in ways on offense just to keep that flow going. Like, I look at that offense and I'm like Cam does a decent job of like reading, reacting, but you could see like Kolek is processing the game at another level. Like, he's like, all right, if I do this, I do this, I do this, I get this result. And it's like, that's what we need with that second unit, because you look at McBride, you look at Precious, you look at all those guys who are out there with that second unit, even Shamet. Those are not creators. Those are guys that need someone to create for them. Right. And I think Kolek can do that and get those guys a rhythm. And Cam's okay at that, but like the level that I see from Kolek, I could just see it, man. Like, you just see it. Like, even in Summer League, you could see how he processes the game at just such a different speed. Yeah. Right? And like, that's what I'm saying. Year two, that's why Cam's on 1 year deal, man. Year two, Kolek's good.
Cam's always ready to shoot. He got that arm ready to shoot.
Much,
always. Man. Yo, you notice that arm's always ready? That arm is, he's like, he lets it fly, bro.
Way too. There was like, what was that game? I forget what game that was. He let one rip, and I was like, bro, what are we doing? We're in a tight race right now, and you're just putting up shots. We can't be putting up shots. It's craziness.
Yeah. Have you had the chance to watch Cooper Flagg play?
I have not had the chance yet, man. Too ingrained in just like Knicks and NBA world, man. I have not.
Yeah, I mean, there was so much going on yesterday, right? With like the LeBron triple double, right? Bronny coming in, obviously, OG. It was scary with OG, and then of course the crazy trade. So nobody even talked about Duke versus North Carolina. But I watched the first 10 minutes of that game, and I thought to myself, this is what LeBron James would look like if he played in college. Maybe not the eye-popping athleticism that LeBron has. That's obvious. But just the impact on the game when I watched those first 10 minutes, I'm like, this is what LeBron would look like.
That's sick, man. That's why I love the NBA, man. But like, I need to tap into watching what Cooper Flagg does. I mean, I've heard so much about him. I've heard so much of the potential of his game. And I'm like, I just need to see it at this point. I haven't had a chance to just tap in. Like I said, covering the Knicks, man, there's just like, covering the NBA, there's like a lot going on. I don't got a limited amount of time in my day, a combo to be tapping in. But I gotta go catch some, and like highlights don't do it justice. Right. You know what I mean? Because like highlights only show you like the moment, right? Yeah. Doesn't show you the full game. Like how's he processing, like the entire game. Even the missed shots. The missed shots are also important too.
Never miss a full Knicks game, huh? You watch every minute of every game.
Every minute.
That's crazy.
Every single minute.
Like I catch a lot of them. I'm covering the whole NBA, so it's tough to watch every single minute of every game.
For sure.
But man, I think that's really cool though. Like, cause you see everything.
I see I get to learn all the idiosyncrasies of every player, man. Like, and even the coach, like I could tell you, like back when it was RJ and Quick on the team, I could tell you around the 5-minute mark, it's going to be Isaiah Hartenstein and Manuel quickly coming in. RJ will go out. Second quarter will come in. You're going to have that second string unit with all those guys, with RJ and Quick being the guys who lead that second. I can tell you all those things, man. I can tell you how all this play, and that's what's the cool part about it, right? Like you just get to learn those idiosyncrasies of the teams.
You also learn a lot about players that they were a Knick and then they leave, and you know so much about these guys when the Knicks play them, you know?
And then what's cool is when you get to watch them develop even more. Like what Quick's doing out in Toronto, that's awesome, man. And it's like I think it's cool just to see like when you have like these moments like, yo, this guy's got talent, man. Like we just haven't seen it yet because he's just not there yet. Like we're not there yet.
RJ started out really good too. He was like averaging 29 in the beginning.
Yeah.
And he's going right more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like Quick, man, like I know he's been injured, but even his first games with Toronto last year, like you see the assist numbers go up, the decision making's there, like just seeing over when you get starters minute, you're playing 32, 36 minutes, it's like it's just much more different than getting just 20, 21 minutes a game, and like you have to like be so efficient with your timeout on the court. It's so different, man. But yeah, I catch. That's why it's hard to catch like some of these college games because like afterwards, do that.
You would have had fun. You would have had fun. Duke versus UNC. Like if you would have just watched the first 5 to 10 minutes, it's like Cooper made like the right play like every time down the court.
That's what I need to see.
Yeah, it was like, bro, like this is what it would look like if LeBron played in college. Like that's all I could think. You know, like the size, the athleticism, the IQ, the passing, the finishing. He was hitting threes. Like he didn't miss a three when I was watching. So it was pretty impressive. But Alex, great stuff. You know, you're always welcome back on the show. It's crazy how fast 30 minutes could fly by. Right?
30 minutes goes by real quick, my man. Appreciate you.
Yeah, where can we find you? Social media, everywhere else?
Yo, man, you can always find me on any social media platform. I'm on all of them at this point. Type in @Stratocaster101. It sounds the way it's spelt the way that it sounds. All right, just think of Stratocaster. All right, there you go. So make sure just to go to @Stratocaster101. You can find me on IG, Twitter, Blue Sky, all those places, man. I'm all over the place. You could also go to YouTube. Go find me over at Knicks Fan TV, covering the Knicks, breaking things down on a day-to-day basis. Love doing it, man. Love covering the Knicks. Combo.
Right after the game, too, they could catch you. Right after the game.
Right after the game, and even for game previews, you know, doing all of it, man. All of it. So it's a lot of fun. You can catch me over there as well. We got a lot of great things going over at KFTV, so make sure to tap in, man. But Combo, I appreciate every time you bring me on, man. I always have a good time. There's so many things, there's so many takes we have that I just got to dive deep into.
Yeah, hey, let me, you know what? Let me know when you want me on Knicks Fan TV. We can go into all my deep dive takes. But you know what my mom told me? My mom told me I was like telling her what a hot take was. And so she just like she looked it up on ChatGPT as well. She's like, Andrew, you've been giving me hot takes since you were a baby.
I'm not surprised. You got some takes, and I'm like, huh? Yeah, so maybe what we got to do, we got to ask CP to go back to the NBA report and just have you and me just chop it up like we did last season. So,
yeah. That was fun times, bro. That was fun times.
Fun times.
Talk soon, Alex, and you're always welcome back on the show.
Appreciate you, bro. Have a good one.
Yes, sir.